Hey, it's Yuka. Today we're doing a deep dive on Google's latest Pixel phones, the Pixel 9a, the Pixel 9, and the Pixel 9 Pro. They all look kind of similar at first glance, but when you dig in, there are some huge differences in design, battery, cameras, AI features, and most importantly, the value. So yeah, whether you're considering your first Pixel or upgrading from an older model, this video will help you find the right one for you. Let's start with the basics and how Google positions these three phones. Pixel 9a is a mid-range value champ. It's $499. It's meant to give you like 90% of the Pixel experience for half the price. Pixel 9 is the new standard flagship. It comes in at $699. It's not cheap, but it fixed a lot of pain points from the Pixel 8. Pixel 9 Pro is the full features powerhouse. It starts from $999. It has the best cameras and max out AI features. So yeah, we've got a nice price ladder going on here, but the value sweet spot depends on what you care about the most. Next up, let's talk about the hardware. Pixel 9a has a plastic back, but honestly, it doesn't feel cheap. It has the same flat sides, it has a matte finish, and feels super comfortable in the hand. It doesn't have a camera bar and has a flush camera module, which some may say it's too simple, but others like that it doesn't wobble on the table. It also feels super lightweight and great for everyday carry. Pixel 9 has a Gorilla Glass Victus 2 back, and it's got the Pixel camera bar that is pill-shaped, and I really like this design language. Pixel 9 Pro is basically the Pixel 9 but has some extra things. The model I have here is the Pixel 9 Pro XL, so it's a little bit bigger. The camera pill has one extra camera and a sensor. It's also using the same Victus 2 glass, but it is a matte finish. And all three of these are IP68 water and dust resistant, which is great. Even the 9a gets the same water resistant treating here. For the display, the 9a has a 6.3-inch actual display with 60 or 120 Hz refresh rate and up to 2700 nits of brightness. For the Pixel 9, it's pretty much the same screen specs, but because the bezels are smaller on the 9 than the 9a, the phone itself is a tiny bit smaller. 9 Pro is also 6.3-inch, but has a super actual display that supports LTPO, which allows your phone screen to dynamically adjust its refresh rate from 1 Hz to 120 Hz. It can also go up to 3000 nits of brightness. Since I have the 9 Pro XL, it has a bigger 6.7-inch display. For most people, the 9a's display already looks pretty good, but if you're picky about refresh rates, HDR content, or you edit photos and videos on your phone, I think the 9 Pro is the most feature-packed. Moving on to battery and charging. One thing that's interesting about these phones is that the Pixel 9a actually has the most battery with 5100 milliamp hours, and the Pixel 9 has 4700 milliamp hours, and the Pixel 9 Pro has 5050. So the Pixel 9a has the most battery juice, and it actually has less features that drain the battery, so it actually has the most longevity in terms of battery life. All three of these phones support fast USB-C charging, and all of them support wireless charging, but Pixel 9a is going to be a little bit slower than the 9 and 9 Pro models. Pixel 9a is Qi compatible, but up to 7.5 watts. It's slower than the Pixel 9, which can go up to 15 watts, or the Pixel 9 Pro, which can go up to 21 watts. Pixel 9 and 9 Pro also supports reverse wireless charging, so you can top up your earbuds or smartwatch on the go. Okay, let's break down the camera differences. On Pixel 9a, for the outer camera, you get two cameras. The main 48 megapixel camera is pretty solid and can optically zoom to 2x and digitally zoom to 8x. You will lose quality pretty quickly after 2x though. It also has the 13 megapixel ultra wide camera and the 13 megapixel selfie camera. For video, the 9a supports 30 or 60 frames in 1080p and 4K, and for some reason, no 24 FPS. For Pixel 9, it has a 50 megapixel main with a bigger sensor, a 48 megapixel ultra wide, a 10.5 megapixel selfie camera, which is a lower megapixel than the 9a, and no telephoto. So basically with the 9, you will get the same camera as the 9 Pro except for the telephoto. So on Pixel 9 Pro, you will get all of the above plus a 48 megapixel 5x telephoto lens that can go up to 10x optically. This is the only difference between the 9 and the 9 Pro in terms of camera, but depending on what you want to take photos and videos of, some people really want the telephoto lens. For example, going to concerts, taking candid photos and videos of kids or pets, I think the telephoto lens comes in pretty handy in those situations. I found something interesting with the macro feature on these phones. A lot of phones, including iPhones, will switch over to the ultra-wide camera and go into macro mode when you get super close to a subject. With the Pixel 9 and 9 Pro, that's exactly what happens, and you will see a slight shift with the camera switch. With the Pixel 9a, however, even though it does have an ultra-wide camera, it uses a main camera for the macro mode. Since it's using the same main camera, there is no camera switch, but the minimal focus length is not as short as a 9 and 9 Pro, so you're not able to get as close to the subject. Let's talk about AI, which is an inevitable topic these days. All three of these phones use Google's Tensor G4 chip, but RAM and AI models are a little bit different. For the 9A, it only has 8 gigs of RAM, which makes it pretty difficult to run the same model as the other phones with more RAM. So instead, it uses a smaller AI model called Gemini Nano extra small, which can only process text and does not run continuously on the background. This means you don't get the Pixel screenshot app or the live call summary. Of course, if you are connected to the internet, you can still use a Gemini app to interact with Gemini, but the on-device Gemini is a separate thing from the app. For Pixel 9 and 9 Pro, you get either 12 or 16 gigs of RAM and has Gemini Nano extra small model, which is multimodal and can process text, images, and audio. So that is how Pixel screenshot and live call summary is supported on these phones. That said, the 9A comes with Android 15 and you do get AI photo editing features like Add Me and Magic Eraser. Also, all three models get 7 years of Android updates. So to summarize all your three options, you've got a great budget option, a solid middle ground, and an all-out flagship. With the 9A, you lose out on some features, but if you don't care about getting the best camera, especially in telephoto, or getting the latest and greatest of AI features, or getting the fastest wireless charging, it's a really great option for a regular everyday user. So let me know in the comments which one would be your pick, or what phone are you upgrading from. If you found this helpful, maybe share it with someone who is trying to figure out which Pixel to get. And if you're into tech and creativity videos like this, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!